So this week's project is hopefully going to be a fairly quick one. So this is actually one of two coats that I bought years and years ago. I had such a good sale that I got this one, and then I got one in a different color, and I put that one in the closet for a long time. But I have recently decided it is time to retire this one and start wearing the other one on a more regular basis. But most of this coat is still really good and warm for winter, and it's a good chore coat. In fact, that's probably why this got into this kind of condition, is from doing chores and getting caught on barbed wire, and just, you know, they're always going to start to wear out at the sleeves first, and then, you know, probably bleaching some things and whatnot, but most of it is still in really good shape. The hood and shoulders and all that are still really good. The back, I don't think there's anything. There's a couple of frays at the seams, but for the most part, it's still good quality coat. So what I think I want to do, I could just keep wearing it like this as a chore coat and let it wear out entirely, but I think what I want to do is kind of pretty it up just a little bit. I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time on it, but I'm thinking I might just get some of the scraps over on my ironing board. I've got all kinds of strip scraps like this, and so this one would be really good to just cover over the cuff here. Now the front cuff is actually in pretty good shape, so I don't need to do anything there, but you can see where it's wearing here, and I could just go along and fix that, but it's still wearing a little bit pretty much all the way along. So I think just, you know, folding under the strip and sewing the strip on there, that'll work. Probably going to use some, I can't think what I want to say, not glue, but I can't think of the word. If I think of the word, I'll put it in here on the screen, but you probably know what I mean. Adhesive, basically, on the fabric. I just can't think what it's called all of a sudden. Jeepers. But anyhow, then I was going through my scraps, and I was kind of thinking possibly maybe using the gray around the sleeve, you know, fold it under and then fold this under to, you know, create my, basically sewing like that, folding this side under too, and just going over the cuff at least. So this isn't a huge piece, so it's not going to cover quite all of that, but if I do my 1/4 inch seam and then sew it over the cuff, it should cover most of the cuff part, and then I'll just have to get some other little scraps and do some nice patches along all the little rips and tears along here. But yeah, I figured I'd just do that on both cuffs, and hopefully I can maybe make it big enough. I might put another piece with this and maybe make it big enough to go ahead and cover all that. Just do a kind of a cuff like that. So, and it's basically the cuffs, a couple little tears here and there, and then I just need something for the bottom there. The pocket here is fraying, but it's still sewn down, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'll probably just try to take my little scissors and trim that off a little bit. But still a very good coat. It just, you know, it's not quite as nice for work anymore, so And who knows, if I like the fabrics that I put on it, I might just wear it to work. Kind of depends on how cutesy it is and how scrappy it is. If it's really scrappy, maybe not. In fact, I pulled out a lot of these thinking, well, I could just sew all the strips together and then cut them into blocks. Maybe something, try to separate these a little bit. Guess I was kind of thinking something like those two, and then throw that one in there. Throw that one in there. Maybe another one. So on and so forth. You know, and just kind of sew those strips together and then trim them down and sew the rest of them together. Something like that. Anyhow, but I think I'm going to start with this piece and the little gray here. And then we'll just save these for some scraps to go on the little patchy parts. Alright, we'll see what I get done this week. Dad was taking some video earlier of me putting my chore coat to work, and unfortunately when I went to transfer it from my phone to my computer, it got corrupted. So I thought I'd come out and show how you gotta have a chore coat when you gotta do chores like this and get the cuffs all muddy. So that nice fabric I put around the cuffs of the coat got all muddy, but I got it washed up again. It's gonna be okay for a bit. But it really will be a chore coat. We'll be out here this spring and gonna be making some raised beds, so that's what I was putting that coat to use today, because it was pretty cool this morning. It's not too bad right now. It was pretty cold this morning, so I went ahead and had that coat on while we were unloading the trailer from the pallet of dirt that I got on clearance, and that I'm going to use to start up some of my raised beds this spring. So you can see the garden's not looking very good right now. But hopefully in the next couple weeks we'll be getting started on it. And I got a trellis here from my sister-in-law that I gotta figure out a spot for and get put up. And you can see how my trellis actually went over during the winter when we had a pretty good thaw. And then it got muddy and windy and it went over, so we gotta fix that up. But yeah, a couple things out here to get fixed up. But that coat's going to get put to use and it's going to get worn out again, but for the time being, it's actually got some nice little patches on it, so. I don't know if you can see the cardinal over there. We don't usually get cardinals, but sitting there on the fence. Must be a female because it's not very bright, so, well, actually maybe it is pretty bright. I'm just in the shade, so. I was thinking it must be a female. I was thinking it must be a male. Actually, I think I see a male over here in the brush. And then that must be the female, because now that it's out in the sun, it is a bit brighter. None of this footage is probably any good, but I can see them fairly well. I just don't want to go much closer for the video because I should have had my binoculars with me. I have binoculars that can attach to your phone and then take a pretty good image. Oh, yep, down there in the... That one jumped down there in the brush. And I bet its friend did too. What you doing, kitty? What you doing, kitty? Oh, we gotta really go wide. Huh. What you doing? So you just want to talk to everybody? Yeah. That's what these guineas like, to talk to everybody too. And the chickens are up here sunning themselves. Aren't ya? Oop. All I can get is the wire. There we go. What you guys doing up there? You like that roost up there, huh? Yep. Get in out of the mud. It was really cold this morning, and it was all nice and solid, and then it's warmed up this afternoon and turned into mud again. Welcome to the end of winter, early spring, huh, girls? Yep. And guineas are super talkative today. Saying hi. Alright, you guys need to say bye. You gonna say goodbye, kitty? Nope, as soon as I lean down toward you, you're gonna come toward me. Okay. Alright, everybody say goodbye.